Alright everyone, this is Zero Budget Geek and welcome back to Magic Duels and my Battle for Zendikar coverage. In this episode we're going to be covering the colorless cards. In the past episodes we covered the white, blue, black and red as well as green, so we're not going to cover those. If you've missed those, be sure to check in the upper right hand corner to see the link to those episodes. And but for now we're going to go ahead and take a look at not just the color spells. We're going to look at the color spells as well as the artifacts and the special lands. So let's get started first with the colorless cards. So starting off, we have a aligned Hedron network, 4 mana. It's a rare. It's just straight up artifact. When aligned Hedron network enters the battlefield, exile all creatures with power 5 or greater until the aligned Hedron network leaves the battlefield. Oh my god, 4 mana to basically Wrath of God everything as long as it stays in play. Wow, well, this is the answer to the big Eldrazi creatures, because we're gonna see a bunch very soon. In fact, this is one of them right here. Oblivion Sower, 6 mana. When he's a 5/8, he is a mythic rare, so you only can put 1. When you cast Oblivion Sower, target opponent exiles the top 4 cards of his or her library. Then you may put any number of land cards that player owns from exile onto the battlefield under your control. Oh my goodness, no wonder he's a mythic rare. They lose 4 cards. You may put any number of land cards that player owns from exile. So they have to be in exile, but man, that's rough. Oh man, that's rough. That's why they put in this network. So you're gonna see this a lot. All right, we have a Blight Herder here, 5 mana for 4/5. When you cast Blight Herder, you may put 2 cards your opponent owns from exile into their owner's graveyards. If you do, put 3 colorless Eldrazi token creatures into play, and they can all be sacrificed to give you 1 mana. So you can see the Eldrazi, they make these scions and you can sacrifice them for a lot of mana to play all these big guys. So these costs are actually probably going to be not very hard to, they're not going to be very hard to accomplish in this set. We have Pilgrim's Eye. Now this you're going to probably see a lot. It's a 3 cost 1/1 with flying, but that's not what's important. When Pilgrim's Eye enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it to your hand, and then shuffle your library. So this is kind of like a Gate Creeper Vine for any deck. It does cost 1 more, but you at least get a flying attacker that you can use, or blocker. But this is an interesting card. I think you're going to see this pretty often. We have Breaker of Armies, an 8 cost 10/8 creature, but all creatures able to block Breaker of Armies do so. So that's why he breaks armies, because everybody has to block him, and he's gonna do 10 damage to a bunch of stuff. So he's probably gonna die in the process, but he probably will wipe out most of your opponent's stuff. And because they all have to block him, the rest of your creatures get through unblocked. So this is really powerful. I mean, all these big Eldrazi guys are behemoths. Here we go. Ruin Processor, 7 cost, and you get a big ass 7/8. When you cast Ruin Processor, you may put a card an opponent owns from exile into that player's graveyard. If you do, gain 5 life. And then, you know, this Battle for Zendikar set has ways to abuse gaining life. So man, just what do you say about that? Big guy for 7 mana. That's not going to be hard to accomplish in this deck. You could get that 7 mana by turn 3 or 4. Like, I think easily. So you know, these big Eldrazi guys are gonna be very scary, especially guys like this that are common and only you can have 4 of them in your deck. Alright, we have the Deathless Behemoth, 6 mana for 6/6. He has Vigilance. Oh man. Sacrifice 2 Eldrazi Scions. Return Deathless Behemoth from your graveyard to your hand. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. You're almost always going to have Scions if you're playing Eldrazi, so you're pretty often going to be able to get him back. That's why he's Deathless. So, man, this is really good. The Vigilance, even without the Vigilance, I think this is pretty good. The Vigilance makes him just really, really awesome. We have a Slab Hammer, a 2 cost equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may return a land you control to its owner's hand. If you do, the creature gets +2/+2 end of turn, and you pay 2 to equip it. This will go good with all the landfall stuff. So you equip the creature, you return a land to your hand, and then you can play that land to trigger some landfall abilities. You know, unfortunately though, the +2/+2 is only until end of turn. So, but yeah, this could get pretty powerful combined with landfall. We have a Desolation Twin, 10 mana for 10/10. He is rare. When you cast Desolation Twin, you put another 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token onto the battlefield. Oh, shit, that is ridiculous. Of course, he could be chump blocked, but man, 20 damage worth of power out of 10 mana. Not bad at all. Oh my god. That's awesome. Holy crap, you're gonna see that a lot. Stonework Puma, 3 mana. It's a cat ally. It's a 2/2. No special ability, but the fact that it's an ally makes this dangerous. There are a lot of ally abilities in this in this set that can really abuse that. We have Eldrazi Devastator, 8 cost. It's an 8/9 with trample. Just enough said, just a big guy. I just kind of like how blank this is, and it's just trample, because that's all he's gonna do, but he does it well. Man, these Eldrazi guys are just scary. We have Titan's Presence, a colorless instant. As an additional cost to cast Titan's Presence, reveal a colorless creature card from your hand. Exile target creature if its power is less than or equal to the revealed card's power. So you can reveal one of those big Eldrazi guys, and this will kill just about anything. Wow, this is a pretty powerful kill spell. And it exiles it. This is powerful. Wow, you're gonna see this a lot, I think. Very useful card. Gruesome Slaughter, a 6 cost colorless sorcery. Until end of turn, colorless creatures you control gain tap. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Oh man, you play this and all your guys can basically ping off your opponent's creatures without suffering damage. Yeah, that's powerful. It's a good thing it's a rare. You only have 2 in your deck. Alright, we have Umalog's Despoiler, 6 mana for 5/5. As Umalog's Despoiler enters the battlefield, you may put 2 cards your opponents own from exile into their owner's graveyards. If you do, he enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. You can get a 9/9 out of this guy for 6 mana. They do have to have a bunch of cards exiled, but with the ingest cards and all this other stuff that you have of exiling cards, I don't think that's gonna be really hard. So, and this guy's only an uncommon. Wow. This is interesting. I want to see some people put this in action. It's probably not gonna. You're probably not gonna be able to do this very often. But I think when you do, it's gonna be special. So, very interested in that one. Let's move on over here. We have Umalog, the Ceaseless Hunger, 10 mana for 10/10. Another one. When you cast Umalog, the Ceaseless Hunger, exile 2 target permanents. He is indestructible, and whenever Umalog attacks, defending player exiles the top 20 cards of his/her library. Are you freaking kidding me? This is the I Win card. There's I Win. You can chump block him though, but he's indestructible. You can play stuff to return him to the hand, but exile. You don't want to return to your hand because when you play him, he exiles 2 target permanents. This guy is just he's horrible. He is bad. This is awesome. It's a good thing he's a mythic rare. There's only one. He's legendary. So, wow. This is one card that definitely surprised me. That is really awesome. So that is the colors card. So let's clear the filters, go back into here, and let's go take a look at the gold cards in the set. So we gotta scroll down this way, and missed it. So here we go. First gold card here is the Royal Spout, 3 mana. It's a sorcery. Put target creature on top of its owner's library, and it has Awaken. So for 6 mana, you will get the top effect, plus you'll make one of your lands into a 4/4 creature. And putting it the creature on top of its owner library is very useful. Much better than just returning to a hand, because they have to spend a turn drawing it. So, like that card, very useful. We have a Drana's Emissary, 3 mana. It's a Vampire Cleric ally. Problems there. It's a 2/2. It has flying. At the beginning of upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. In the other episodes, we saw lots of ways to abuse life gaining, and she just does it automatically. So, I'm scared. I'm scared of all the different kinds of decks, I mean, that we're going to be seeing out of this set. We have a Skyrider Elf. It is a blue-green X spell. He's a creature though, and he's an ally, so danger right there. He starts off as 0/0, but it does have flying and converge. Skyrider Elf enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each color of mana spent to cast it. So at best you can make this a 5/5, which is not bad at all. 5/5 flyer, yes please. Okay, we have, what is this? Munda, Ambush Leader, 4 mana. It's a core ally. It is legendary. It's a 3/4 with haste, rally. Whenever Munda, Ambush Leader, or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you may look at the top 4 cards of your library. If you do, reveal any number of ally cards from among them. Then put those cards on top of your library in any order, and the rest on the bottom of your library. So this sets you up for the next few turns. Especially because each ally card that comes into play is going to trigger some kind of effect in addition to all the other allies in play. So, ooh, man, this is scary. The ally decks are, I think, my #1 scariest thing coming out of Battle for Zendikar so far. We have a Dusk Stalker, 4 mana, rare. It's a 5/3, small body but big hit. It is devoid, has no color, and then it has haste, so you can surprise somebody with this guy. Well, that's why he's a stalker. At the beginning of each end step, if you control no other colorless creatures, return Dusk Stalker to its owner's hand. Well, that's not terrible because you're almost always going to have colorless creatures in this set. But even if you don't, he has haste. So what? You can actually play some mind games with your opponent. Play him, let him come back to your hand, and then your opponent's got to wonder if you're going to play him again or not. And you could play a different creature, and they may hold off on a kill spell waiting for him to come back out, leaving your other creatures intact. So I really like this card here, and the artwork is just cool. So, well, all the artwork in this set is really cool. We have a Veteran War Leader, 3 mana for star. He is a human soldier ally. Against trouble right there. Veteran War Leader's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures you control. Well, if he's an ally deck, you're gonna have a lot of allies. Tap another untapped ally you control. Veteran War Leader gains your choice of first strike, vigilance, or trample until end of turn. So you can give him whatever you want. He's probably gonna get whatever he wants just from the ally abilities anyway. So this guy can be this could be an end game card for the ally decks. Play that guy, give him haste. Can you give him haste? You can't give him haste, but actually I think there are some ally cards that can give haste, so I can see that being kind of a win condition card. Alright, we have Forerunner of Slaughter, a black and red card. Well, it's black and red to play. It's a 3/2 creature that's colorless, and target colorless creature gains haste until end of turn for only 1 mana. So, that's interesting. That's interesting. I mainly like the 2 cost for a 3/2, but this is just a little bit icing on the cake. It'll be interesting to see that in play, see how that works out. Sire of Stagnation. It is a 6 cost blue-black costing creature. He is a 5/7, so he's big, but he is devoid. He has no color. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, that player exiles the top 2 cards of his or her library, and you draw 2 cards. Oh my god! Oh no, no wonder. He's a mythic rare. They lose 2 cards, or they exile the top 2 cards, and you draw 2 cards, and you get a big guy. Oh man, these big Eldrazi are scary. Alright, Brood Butcher, 5 mana for 3/3 that is devoid. When Brood Butcher enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi creature token that you can sacrifice for 1 colorless mana, and you pay 2 mana, sacrifice the creature. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. I mean, this guy is not very big, so he can be killed relatively easy, but the ability to sacrifice creatures to give -2/-2s can be really powerful, and almost all the Eldrazi come, make freaking tokens, so you'll probably have plenty of stuff to sacrifice. So you can see this guy hitting the table quite often. We have Ulamog's Nullifier. It is a 4-cost creature. It's just a 2/3. It's devoid. It's flash. You can play as an instant. It does have flying, so it has some evasion. And when Ulamog's Nullifier enters the battlefield, you may put 2 cards your opponent own from exile into their owner's graveyards. If you do, counter targets. But oh my goodness, no wonder he's a Nullifier. So you play him as a counter spell, because he counters target spell. No restrictions, just counter targets. You do have to, there's a restriction, sorry. You do have to put 2 exile cards, but you get a creature out of it. This is awesome, and it's only an uncommon. It does cost 4 mana, but whew, I like this guy. I want to see some use out of him. Alright, what else? We have a Grove Rumbler. Man, I like that picture. 4 mana for 3/3 elemental with trample. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, he gets a +2/+2 until end of turn. So maybe the turn after you play him, you plop down the land, you're attacking with a 5/5 trampler. That's not bad for 4 mana. So and this set has many ways to get him, on the 3rd. You could actually even get this guy on the 2nd turn. Can you? Maybe not. 3rd turn. I think you can get this guy on the 3rd turn and start attacking on 4th. So very interesting guy there. We have a Brutal Expulsion, 4 mana instant. It is the voice that has no color. Choose one or both. Okay. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. Or Brutal Expulsion deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that permanent will be put into graveyard this turn, exile instead. This would be nice to get rid of pesky planeswalkers. But you almost always, man, this is a really good spell, and it's an instant. So return target spell, so it'll be kind of like a counter, even though they get the card back. But this is, the timing of this card is gonna make or break how good it is. At the right moment, this could win you a game. So very interesting in that, and I love the name Brutal Expulsion. Down here we have Omnath, Locus of Rage. He costs a lot. 3 for 5, 6, 7 mana for 5/5. He's a mythic rare and legendary. He has landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under control, put a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token onto the battlefield. So you get a free 5/5. Whenever Omnath, Locus of Rage, or another elemental you control dies, you deal 3 damage to target creature or player. Holy shnikes. So even if you get this guy out and they manage to kill him, you're gonna get 3 damage out of it. And oh man, this is cool. I can see this in those red-green ramp decks. That's definitely going in there. We have a multicolored planeswalker here, Kiora, Master of the Depths. She starts with 4 loyalty, and her +1 ability is untap up to 1 target creature and up to 1 target land. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature card and reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature card and or land card from among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard, and that's a -2 effect. And then the -8 is you get an emblem with whenever creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature. Then put 3 8/8 blue octopus creature tokens onto the battlefield. Alright, for a moment I thought, wait, whenever creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature. And then put 3 8/8. Do you keep getting the 3? No, I think the 3 8/8 happens once when you activate this. The other one is, your guys can attack each turn, or when they come into return. I think is the ongoing ability. Anyway, I like to see this in action. This +1 ability is just really good in of itself. A tap up to 1 target creature and up to 1 target land. So I mean, you'll get extra use out of that land and make one of your guys back into a blocker, or tap them for ability. I like this one here. Very cool. And then I think that's it for the multicolored spells. So let's go ahead and look at the, did I miss a land over here? Alright, let's look at the cool lands. We have a Blighted Gorge, add 1 to your mana pool, or for 4 mana, sacrifice Blighted Gorge, and it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. I can see this hitting some decks. It'd be really cool if it didn't require red, then other decks could get a little firepower. But being that it requires red, and no, you know, red has enough ways to do 2 damage, so I'm not that excited about that one. We have a Mortuary Mire. Mortuary Mire enters the battlefield tapped. When Mortuary Mire enters the battlefield, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library, and then you tap this for black mana. This, I'm gonna see. I think you're gonna see this a lot. Being able to get a creature back from your graveyard. You mean it puts it back on top of your libraries. You gotta draw it and you gotta play it. But man, this is really awesome. I really like, and it's only a common. So maybe it's not as great as I'm thinking, but I really like that one. I want to play that. We have a Blighted Step. You tap it for 1 colorless, or you pay a white and 3, sacrifice it. You gain 2 life for each creature you control. I guess it's good. I'm not crazy. Well, you know what? Actually, I'm normally not crazy about life gain effects, but in this set, there's many ways to abuse life gaining. So this could potentially be very devastating in the right deck. So we'll see how that plays out. Prairie Stream. And actually, oh, that's interesting. This counts as a plains and an island. It is a rare, and it's a battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. And wow, this is cool. I'm probably gonna see this replace the Guild Gates. Yeah, I think you're gonna see this replace Guild Gates. We have Canopy Vista. Again, it counts as a forest and plains, and enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. That doesn't matter, even if you put into play tapped. The fact that it's forest and plains means you can search for it easier. We have a Sandstone Bridge. Enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains vigilance until end of turn. And you tap it for 1 mana. This is really cool, and I like the fact that you're gonna get ability, even though it comes into play tapped. You're at least gonna get something that turn out of it. This is very interesting card right there. We have a Cinder Glade, counts as mountain forest, and enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. We have a Shambling Vent. Shambling Vent enters the battlefield tapped. You can tap it for white or black, or pay 3 mana and it becomes a 2/3 white and black elemental creature with lifelink until end of turn, and it's still a land. Yeah, very useful. Even if you don't ever really use that ability, it's just another multi-land. So you'll see that being played, definitely. We have a Fertile Thicket. Enter the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, you may look at the top 5 cards of your library. If you do, review up to 1 basic land card from among them. Put that card on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of, in any order. Add green to your mana. So good for mana fixing. And review up to 1 basic, and then put that card on top of your library. So if you play, you have to do that effect. You can't choose not to put, you know, if there's a land in those top 5 cards, you will have to put it up. So later in the game, this could slow you down, but early game, this could be a really good card. Especially, you know, searching the top 5 cards, you're probably gonna find at least 1 land. Alright, we have a Skyline Cascade. Enters the battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent control doesn't tap during its control next untap step. Again, great card, comes into a tap, but you get something on the turn it comes. So it's a free, it's almost a free spell, though. So I can see people playing a lot of those, especially for blue. This could be a good early game card to play against weenie decks. Looming Spires. Looming Spires enter the battlefield tapped. When enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains first strike until end of turn. Man, I'm really liking these enter the battlefield tapped, but you gain an effect. We have a Smoldering Marsh. Simply counts as a mountain or swamp, and enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Enough said. You know, we have a Lumbering Falls here. Enters the battlefield tapped. tap it for blue or green, and you pay 4 mana. Lumbering Falls becomes a 3/3 blue elemental creature, green and blue elemental creature with hexproof until end of turn, and it's still a land. The fact that it's hexproof is really nice, really nice. I like that card. And looks like the last one is the Sunken Hollow. Counts as an island or swamp, and it's a multicolor. You enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So that is the end of my coverage of the Battle for Zendikar. We've gone through a lot of cards, so many deck ideas popping into my head, as I'm sure they are popping for you. So you know, I definitely want to hear from you guys. If you're coming up with decks, send them my way. I like to build decks that you create and play them on my YouTube channel, so send them my way. So if you missed other episodes in the series, remember, go up in the upper right hand corner to see the link to those. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my regular Friday Night Magic series. Take care.